Hi there, budget peeps. How are you all doing? I hope you've had a fantastic weekend. I'm trying to do my closeout for November. It's the first closeout, although I've been budgeting for almost a year now. It's the first actual closeout for the month I've actually done. And this is something I'm finding very hard to do. So I'm going to give it a go and see where I get to, because we've had so many unexpected things happen this month. It's thrown me for a bit of a wobble, but I'm still going to plough on and see where we get to. But let's give it a go. So in total this month in November, we received £5,937.42 of income. And that income came from all different sources. Unexpectedly, we received £3,145.74 of unexpected income. 400 of that was from Stuart doing some overtime, hubby doing his overtime. And £2,745.74 was from him receiving the 25% of his pension. We wasn't expecting to get that till after Christmas, but it came in November, so that was like, well, we didn't expect that so soon. So adding that to his regular income, which was adding these two numbers together, I think should come up with that one. So his regular income was 2,791, sorry, not his regular income, our regular income, because I get some income as well. So together, our income was £2,791.68. And obviously then he had his overtime and his pension on top, which made it £5,937.42. So that's where we're coming from. Right then. Our expenses for the month came to £2,537.36, not counting my wheelchair, because I'm separating that entirely. What I spent on the wheelchair, what I spent fetching it, and what was spent on food going up and down. I've dealt with that in a totally separate situation. So I've borrowed money from one of my sinking funds to pay for that. So I'm not going to include that in here. So that's where we are with the expenses. We've managed to put £3,605 this month into savings. The biggest chunk of that is obviously that pension money coming back to him, that 25% of his pension. So if we go 3,605 minus, we actually put £2,675 of his pension into his savings. So there was £930 of other monies, you know, our little savings funds here and there that we managed to dwindle and twinkle out of our gross income, out of our net income, sorry, not our gross income. So that's what we put into savings this month, £3,605. We've left £100 in the bank as our buffer for the month coming ahead. So that's where we're at with that. So how did we perform against what we budgeted? This one should actually be green, not red. I'll just colour that. What we budgeted for our mortgage was, just checking, still recording, was £345. And what actually came out of the bank was £335, because I forgot to change the standing order, because I don't pay it by direct debit, I pay it by standing order. So numpty me, didn't pay it, but luckily I've overpaid my mortgage for some months and they took it out of my overpayment, so there was not an issue. I didn't go into arrears. It didn't affect my credit rating, so all's good. But I have been to the bank and changed it for next month, because they did send me a letter to say, oh, we've had to take it out your overpayment, so that's okay. So therefore we were £10 down, or rather £10 up as to what we should have had, if you see what I mean. That should have been gone. The endowment came out as expected, £49.70. The house insurance, we put £15 away for that in our year ahead fund. The home improvements was £5. The emergency fund, the home emergency policy was £5. The water rates came out a little different, just 2p difference in our favour at 41.33. The utilities came out as expected at £115.46. That covers our gas, electric, telephone and broadband. So telephone landline and broadband. Our telephone landline, we never use it. It just charges us the landline rental or whatever it is. The reason we've got it is because of the broadband. We're with a company called Utility Warehouse who are absolutely fantastic. We have one bill for all of that, and they budget it so that we pay the same amount every single month, regardless of how much electric or gas we use. And every year they recalculate it for us, so we know exactly what we're paying out. We've built up quite a bit of credit with them, I think over £300 worth of credit, which is why our payment at the moment is so low. We don't tend to have our gas on very often because we've got a Calagas heater in the living room that we use in the evenings or on the cold mornings. But every now and again we might put the gas on boost, like if we're going for a bath or something like that, or the house is particularly cold, we'll put it on for a boost. But we tend to sort of manage with the Calagas heater. So we haven't bought any gas for that Calagas heater this month, but we've just run out of one of the bottles, so we will be replacing that next month. Waste removal, that's the bin cleaner that comes once every 4 weeks. That's £5. That went as usual. Hubby's My Phone was £9 for the month. That's unlimited text, unlimited minutes, and 12 gigabytes of data, and that's with O2. I think that's what it is. And Hubby's is £10 a month. He's with ID Mobile, and his is unlimited text, unlimited minutes, and again 12 gigabytes of data. The reason why we've got two different providers is because when we're out together, if one phone's not getting a signal, the other one usually does, so that's why we do that. TV licence was 12p in our favour because it went out at £13.25. Council tax, now that didn't go out this month. It was meant to go out at 122. So that 122 stayed in the bank. There's been a bit of a glitch on the council tax. For some reason, they didn't collect it, and they've recalculated that money in with the upcoming payments, and for the months ahead. So that's going to go up to 147 now to recover this payment that should have gone out. So I'm just going to leave it to carry on like that. The gardener was paid. This is his last time this year because of the winter coming. So that was normal, £25. Groceries. Now, we have been going a bit over our grocery budget from time to time, which has come out of our bank buffer and one thing and another. So our groceries, we targeted £240. As you know, we put a lot of that into Percy to save for a kitchen. We actually spent over the month, when I've added it all up, £452.09. So we went over by £212.09. So we need to get more savvy with these groceries. We were doing so well before I had my little break, but this month with Christmas coming and one thing and another and the rushing around, I've just not tracked it as well as I should have done. So slap on the wrist for me and get myself back in gear. Eating out. We budgeted £0 for eating out, but we've actually spent £79.21. Again, a smack on the wrist because we don't want to be eating out, It's okay to eat out when you've budgeted for it, but when you're just eating out because you're running about here and there, rushing and doing, it's amazing how much. That's £79. That's a lot of pennies, isn't it, really? I suppose it's not over a month, but it is a lot of pennies that could have gone into a savings fund, or it could have gone towards something that we've got something to show for our money. Laziness, we could have took a sandwich, we could have took something with us when we went out, could have took a flask of coffee. So it does boil down to a bit of laziness on our part there. So we need to watch that, otherwise it's going to run away with us. Life insurance went out as expected. Let's just put that under there because that one's done. Medicines, nothing went out for that because we didn't need any medicines. Pets, £10 in the pot as usual. £5 in for dental, £5 in for opticians, £15 went out for the cat plan, as usual. Car insurance is in my favour by 6p because it was £20.44 instead of £20.50. And hubby's car insurance, exactly the same, but they have put it up 30% for next month. So not happy about that. But he is looking for a new vehicle, so all that's going to change anyway. Fuel, we managed to stick to our fuel budget of £200. That wasn't a problem. And as you know, from that fuel budget, we've been saving for other things because we haven't spent it every month. So it's been able to go into our savings challenges. MOTs for the car, etc., £35 each. So 35 went in the pot to save towards the MOTs. Caravan storage, £30 went for that. And I'm a bit miffed about this car tax of mine because I went to the post office to tell them that I've got disability status and I shouldn't be paying this now. And they sorted it all out for me at the post office, but still the DVLA took this £17.50 from my bank. So I thought I had that spare this month, which is why I bought my planner. But obviously I didn't have it spare. And obviously I'm a bit miffed now because I've got an overspend, but hey ho. Car tax for hubby was slightly higher than what I was expecting at £3.09 because I think it's like £30 for the year his car tax is. So we're a bit 47p down on that. MOT, we had to dip into our emergency fund to help him with his MOT because we hadn't quite saved up enough for it. So that was £290.20. So I put the whole thing there because we hadn't budgeted for the repairs. That was the cost of the repairs. So we budgeted for the MOT, but not the repair costs, if you see what I mean. AA cover, £25, has gone in the pot for the year ahead, just the same. Clothes and shoes, £5. Personal care, £5. So all of this is great. So we both had £60 for the month allowances. £20 went into stationery and crafting items, or anything towards my budgeting that I do. £5 went into the pamper envelope, £5 into the miscellaneous, £5 into the puppy fund, and £5 into the giving fund. £142 went out as normal for our loan, £30 for HMRC as normal. I need to contact them because I don't know how much I owe them, so I want to do like a debt update, and I want to make sure we'll see what the balance is. 165 went out as normal for the reserve, although I think I might have to increase that with the interest rates the way they have increased. I think that should be higher. £5 went out for tech into the tech tub. £30 we've got for date night. £17.50 went for cinema, and £8.99 went for Amazon Prime as usual. £4.79 went for the laptop insurance as usual. And I didn't check the other account. These ones come out of our other account, but I'm sure they went out exactly the same. £4.99, £2.99, £5.99. So those are just three I need to check on. So I would imagine they've gone out. But that means my expenses is going to be slightly wrong because I haven't added them in. Let's just add that £4.99 plus £2.99 plus £5.99 equals £13.97. So I've got to add, I'll just write that there, £13.97 onto my expenses. Okay, so we've got £5 that went out as normal for Norton, 25 went in the Christmas fund, £20 into the Christmas food fund, that's our hamper fund, £20 into the birthday envelopes, and £25 into our personal birthday envelopes. £200 went into our golden ticket. Now I budget £197.35, but because it's like close to 100, I round it up. But obviously that's leaving me a deficit of £2.65. So if I'm budgeting to a zero bank account each month, that would put me overdrawn. So I need to change the budget there to exactly 200. So that's exactly how much his pay rises have added up to, less tax and national insurance over the last five years, I think it is, or 4 years, something like that. So that's why I always use this as my budgeting, but then I round it up every time. So if I do that, I'm going to 265 every month in deficit. So I need to put the full 200 in there. We didn't budget anything for the emergency fund because we always take money from his overtime money to pay for that. We wasn't expecting any overtime, but we did get some. So obviously that's £200. So it's £200 up for us. That should have been in that column there as well. £15 will be going as normal into Pippa. So I've got that to do tomorrow. Hyperjar had its normal £30, which we stuffed in our envelopes rather than in Hyperjar. £25 went into our financial safety net, and we put £150 into saving for a wheelchair. We budgeted £110 for the cruise, but I actually put 85. I've still got another 25 to go in, so 85. So we're 25 up in our account for that. Hubby's 20p an hour pay rise went in as normal, £25. And of course, the other part of hubby's overtime money from the 400 is another 200, plus his £645, should I say, went into his 100 envelope challenge. So obviously we're up there as well. We did have a lot of unplanned spends, which until you sit down and sort of add them up, you're like, oh my God, I didn't realise I spent that much. So I did take 3 trips to town and hired a wheelchair each time at £4 each. That added up to £12. My budget planner, I thought I got it covered with my tax money, but obviously I didn't. So that's £16.15. Etsy savings has come out. Some of this money's come out of what we've saved in our little savings pot. So obviously that's come out of Polly. Herbalife has come out of the bank, £122. Didn't expect to go on Herbalife at all, but it happened. We went to New Life and spent £66.47 on Christmas and clothes. Christmas shopping in Aldi came to £54.77. Home Bargains again, Christmas bits and bobs, £34.47. Poundland Christmas bits and bobs, £26.80, and B&M £30.79. Sainsbury's for our Christmas meat was £25.46. Farm Foods for our Christmas bits and bobs again, £66.71. Wickes for some products for a home improvement that we're doing was £7.50. IKEA again, home improvement was £96.30, which come out of hubby's pension money. If you've been watching my videos, you'll see where these bits and pieces have come from. Asda was £3.64 coming out of our miscellaneous, and today we had a cake from the bakery which was £1.90. So all that's gone into there. So that gave us sort of like overspending, or not overspending, unplanned spending of £584.50. So that's come to and from of our savings funds and one thing and another. So expenses, I've got to add that on, haven't I? Well, I've done that, £13.97. So 2537.36 plus £13.97 equals, so cross that out, equals £2,551.33, which means that's wrong again. Right, so what we've done is we've taken our total income, 5937.42. You see that on the calculator there? And we've taken off our savings, minus 3,605. Taken off our expenses taken off our expenses, 2551.33. That gives us this much. We've taken off our overspending, 584.5. I'm going to have to, it's 40, it's 50 plus 0.1 to make it 50. That gives us minus £803.21 and 100 there, minus 100. So that, sorry, should be minus 903.21 because I want to leave £100 in the bank. So what's happened is we've had to take out monies from our savings funds as we've gone through the month. We've took money from Polly, we've took money from different aspects of our savings, took money from the emergency fund, where else have we took money from? I've took money from the cruise fund, etc. So we've sort of borrowed and begged and borrowed, if you like, to cover all the expenses that we've had, as well as putting the money into our savings as well as. So we've got 5937.42, go through this again, minus the 3,605 that we put into savings, minus the £584.50 that we've had to take from our sinking funds, saving funds, etc. Equals, I've forgotten the expenses, minus 2551.33 equals 803, minus another 100 that we're leaving in the bank gives us, that means that we've taken £903.21 from various saving funds throughout the month to cover everything that we've got going on. I got there in the end. So that's how it's gone this month. So, but I'm still very, very chuffed because we did do a count up. I counted up the savings funds on the 7th of November and I counted them up today as well as. So I've gone through everything, and what I've done is that's what we'd saved up to the 7th of November, and this is what we've saved up to now, the end of the month. And the difference is written in this column, right? So since the 7th of November, in this column, as you can see here, we've saved £2,899.84 since the 7th of November. So I'm absolutely chuffed with that. And if we add up our actual savings and all of our different pots, we've gone from the 7th of November to now. We did have £4,391.08. And now in all of our savings pots altogether, we've got £6,663.62. So I'm absolutely ecstatic that we've got that money saved up. The majority, as I said, 2,600 something odd is Stuart's pension. So that's given us a massive boost this month. But that's it. That's how it is for the closeout. I mean, I'm so chuffed. So I'm going to try and do this every month to keep myself accountable, to make sure you know, I'm doing everything right. So yeah, I'm just shocked. You know, this month alone we put £112 into well, this month since the 7th of November, should I say, and today's the 27th. So in 20 days we put £112 into Percy. So you know, it adds up. All this little bits and bobs of money just adds up. We've got, you know, little bits and bobs going into little different savings, but over the long term, when you look at it, it adds up £6,663.62. So I'm going to give myself a round of applause for that. So I'm very happy with that. So I'm going to conclude it there. That is our first ever closeout, monthly closeout. So if you enjoyed it, let us know. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've hit over 27,000 views on the channel now. We've been going since I think it was the 7th of January. I uploaded my first video, I think. So I'm really, really, really grateful to everybody who's joined the channel, you know, subscribed and liked and commented. I really, really appreciate you all. When I first started the channel, I didn't think I'd have one subscriber, let alone over 300 now. So thank you for that. Absolutely amazing. Let's crack on and do December. I'll be doing my budget with me for December next. So sometime during the week. So stick with it and I'll see you again soon. And for now, I want to say have a wonderful evening. Ciao for now.